Welcome to the Crypto Sphere. This is Cryptogenic coming at you. Today is Tuesday, March 8th at 6 a.m. here in Northern California. We're going to take a look at these crypto charts to see what's going on in the market. Looks like Bitcoin is very close to its level of support. Looks like it's trying to break beneath its level of support. Will it break or will it hold? We're going to take a look at the Bitcoin charts. We're going to take a look at XRP, TFUEL, THETA token, BCH, and MATIC in today's video. So let's jump right into these here charts. All right, we're going to start with the weekly chart of Bitcoin. And as we can see on this weekly chart, we had a hammer followed by a shooting star. So on the weekly chart, trend reversal. The very next week, trend reversal. So, wow. I mean, this bullish trend honestly didn't even last more than 1 week. However, it looks like we're making another hammer candle here, which means that for the third consecutive week, we're seeing a trend reversal. Now, what these three candles represent simply is confusion in the market, indecision in the market. It's the primordial war between the bulls and the bears. Which one will win? There seems to be equal pressure, very little volume, though, which means that the real bulls and bears are actually not participating in this move at all. This is just us little retail guys that are fighting each other. Half of us are trying to push it down. The other half are trying to push it up. And in the meantime, we're just kind of holding at $38,000. Now, I drew this trend line here because I think if we did plunge beneath the support here at 36,800, I don't think we can go beneath, I don't think we can go beneath this line here, which is 32,898. But I don't think we will go beneath this line here, which is 34,251. We may not even break beneath this line here, which is 36,867. Some people are saying they see a $10,000 Bitcoin. I don't see that at all. I don't know where they get that from. And part of my reasoning is, number one, I don't see it in the charts. We're still making higher lows in the RSI on the weekly, although we haven't made a higher high yet, but we made a higher high here. So higher low, and then higher high. And we're on the way towards this level of resistance here in the RSI. If we can break above that and break above this, we've made a higher high. So I don't see $10,000 in this chart anywhere. I see that it would be really, really hard to break beneath 32,000. And I have this level of support down here. This is, if it does break down here, this has got, in my opinion, this would be the bottom. And by the way, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It's just my perspective and my opinion. And part of the reason for that is what I see in the charts. But the other part of the reason for that is just knowing that we're looking at a completely different crypto game than we've seen in previous years. This is a completely different scenario than we've seen in previous bull runs. Why? Because in previous bull runs, you didn't have companies that are worth, $1 trillion like Tesla that own, $1.5 billion of Bitcoin at a cost basis of $32,000. So it's really hard to break beneath $32,000 when you know you've got a company like Tesla. It's in their best interest to keep Bitcoin above 32,000, above their own cost basis, because it means they're in profit. And they have the resources and the means to buy the crap out of it if it even gets close to their cost basis. Also, you've got Michael Saylor's company. What is it? Micro Solutions or whatever it is. And they own even more Bitcoin, and their cost basis is $28,000. They own more than 100,000 Bitcoin at a cost basis of $28,000. So between those two, they own like 3% of all Bitcoin or 5% of all, something like that. Some outlandish percentage of all Bitcoin is owned by those two companies. Both of those companies, it's in their best interest to keep the price of Bitcoin above their price basis, above their cost basis. Why? Because they have to report earnings. And if Bitcoin drops down to $10,000, they have to report this is a tremendous loss of assets. It doesn't look good on their balance sheet. It doesn't look good for their stock. It doesn't look good to their shareholders. And so they are personally invested. They have they have every incentive to keep the price of Bitcoin above 28, and they also have the resources to do it. So it's going to be really, really hard to break Bitcoin beneath those levels. If we take a look at this daily chart, what we see is we're coming into these two wedges here. There's a wedge in the price and a wedge in the RSI, which is convergence. It's a convergence between the price and the RSI. We're making higher lows, we're making higher lows, and we're making lower highs, and we're making lower highs here. And so we simply watch the break of this wedge for the next direction of Bitcoin. Now, here's my thing. If it's not going to break bearish, that means it's got to break bullish. So I'm anticipating a bullish break from here. And once we get a bullish break from here, at some point, the whales are going to jump back into this action. You think they're going to stay out of these waters. You think they're not going to participate in the next move. Fat chance. At a certain point, they're going to jump back in. And if we break bullish above this trend, that should take us back to 65,000. So it's bullish. I'm bullish. I mean, you guys know I'm a moon boy in a sense, but within reason. I mean, I don't see $1 million Bitcoin, but I think I could see a $130,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year, specifically by August. All right, taking a look at Theta token. We had a doji candle here. A doji is the wick on the upside and the wick on the downside of the body are the same size. Very little body there. So this is massive indecision in the market here. And we broke beneath some levels here. But then all of a sudden, it was just this surge. Boom. We recovered very, very quickly. Yeah, on the daily. And so, I mean, we tried to break above this level here, but the bears pushed us back down. So I think the support now is at $2.74. And I think we're going to climb out of this from here, watching it. I'm going to look at the daily chart here for TFUEL because I think we're in a similar scenario as what we see. Yep. So look how we've just honored this line of support. We just keep making higher lows. And we're climbing here. We've got nice support in the RSI here. And we're climbing. So let's see what's going to happen with TFUEL here. I take the midpoint of this trend. It's about a 60% pop. And once we're able to break above the trend, that should take us to about 32 cents. So this is my midterm price prediction for TFUEL is 32.5 cents. We can break above this trend. So I'm seeing something similar here with Theta on the daily. We can draw the same kind of trend here. We look at this as a triangle. Yep. And if we go from the bottom of the trend to the top of that trend, that's about 66%. So if we can break bullish, and where we're breaking bullish here is just arbitrary. If we break at a different place, I'd set a different target, but this is just a projection. That let's say we're able to break bullish here, that would take us up to about $5. So my midterm projection is a $5.12 Theta token. All right. Let's take a look at XRP. XRP has just moved sideways. Sideways, sideways, sideways. It's just flattening out. It's just winding up. This is the daily chart. I was going to say let's look at it on the daily, but it is the daily. It's just a huge wedge. Same thing in the RSI. Get rid of all these lines. You draw lines and then sometimes you come back and go, what's this all about? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Exactly. Now, what if we did this? Doesn't it seem like it's honoring that line right there? It sure does. And then if we did this in the highs, we can see a wedge here. Something like that. What does that do? It simply demonstrates that we got a wedge in the price. We got a wedge in the RSI. We're making higher lows here. We're making higher lows here. But we're making lower highs. And so we've got to watch the break of this wedge here in the price to determine the next destination. However, if we break bullish from this wedge, if I go from the depth of it, that's 76% right there. Let's say we break bullish right here. That would take us up to about, we're going to make it, 76 point. Come on. Fingers don't fail me now. There we go. Boom. That would take us up to about $1.36. So that's my midterm price projection for XRP. BCH, same type of deal. I don't see a wedge here. What scares me about BCH is this kind of looks like a bear flag. Or a bear pennant. So we better hope that's not a bear flag. However, we got nice support in the RSI. Let me take a look at what's happening here in the RSI. We're registering a higher low. So that means we've hit support. Could be we've hit bottom in the RSI there. I think we've hit bottom. And if that's the case, we're simply, we're just consolidating here. But even here, if we manage to break bullish instead of bearish, if we break bearish, that's not going to be good. But if we do manage to break bullish, that should take us up about 39%. And if we're able to break 39% above this, well, now these are all midterm, short-term projections here. This is not like long-term projections. This is what could happen in the next few weeks. It would take us up to 460, and then it would be about reassessing the pattern to determine where we're going. Let's take a look at MATIC. MATIC is still strong. We still got, look how we're just like almost exactly honoring this support in the RSI. Not deviating from it at all, which is really cool. So, I mean, the first stop with MATIC would be a revisitation of the previous all-time high. I'm going to make that line dotted. But then what we could see with MATIC is, you see how we're making higher highs here? What if this became the trend? Yeah, actually, I'll get rid of this line. Make this one dotted. So what if the next stop was to touch this trend line? And then breaking above it would actually be more like, yeah, it'd be more like 372 from this line. Let's say we break above it here. It just gives us another target that's kind of in the middle of these two targets. It won't give me exact, but that's okay. It's good enough. Boom. So MATIC looks really strong. But the short-term target I could see is the top of this line here at around $3. And that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a bounce from MATIC and touch this line here at about $3 and then determine where we're going next. Are we breaking out towards the next target, or are we going to have to consolidate, break down again and consolidate for a little bit longer? So the market is moving sideways for now, but the market is still bullish. And I'm expecting a breakout at any minute. I'm expecting a breakout probably end of this month to mid next month. I really think the market's going to go gangbusters again, but we shall see. But in the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Do me a favor and smash that like button if you enjoyed this comment. Leave me a comment. I mean, if you enjoyed this content, leave me a comment. And subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Thanks so much for watching. But above all, make it your aim to sleep in peace every night, wake in joy every morning, and walk in love every day. This is Cryptogenic signing out.